Hi there, my name is Tracey Silverman and I'm the agency planner here at the Texas Historical Commission. We recently finished up developing a new statewide plan for Texas, which is an overarching framework of goals and objectives for us all to achieve over the next 10 years. As we traveled around the state last summer, hearing feedback on the statewide plan and discussing ways to implement the goals locally, we were overwhelmed with one topic that was on everybody's mind: engaging youth in history and historic places. This really will make the difference for whether the places that embody our different histories will be around in the future or not. Kids need to understand the importance of these places, the stories they tell, and why they matter. I know I'm speaking to the choir, but they need to understand that these places equal jobs and money. They equal a more sustainable environment. They equal an unrivaled connection with our past. No matter what, the kids today will ultimately be the ones making the decisions on whether to keep these places around for another generation. Goal 5 of Texas's new statewide plan gets to the heart of this matter. The long form of this goal is that Texas residents and guests learn and experience the state's diverse history through formal education, recreation, and everyday interactions with historic places. The short form is simple: learn and experience history through place. As we traversed the state, this goal resonated with everyone. It got the most discussion, filled up the most sheets of flip chart paper, and got the most votes at the end of these meetings. Places bring history to life for all of us, but especially for kids. This is the key, so how do we do it? There are some big ticket outcomes and actions we included in this goal, such as creating web-based history curricula for the major ethnic groups in Texas. This is a statewide tactic that will require a lot of planning, a lot of time, partnerships, energy, but most of all, money. However, there are so many simple, easy, and effective ways to engage youth in the history and places of your community, and you can get working on it right away. One obvious way is to coordinate with teachers and organize a field trip to a historic place in your community. This can be for a specific class, a grade level, or combined grades. It can be to a site, it can be a tour of a downtown or a neighborhood. Whatever it is, for whatever age, it has to be hands-on, experiential, but most importantly, fun. Recently, I was part of a field trip to the Egypt Plantation in Wharton County. About 24 kids in 2nd through 5th grade from Wharton Elementary spent the morning learning about this 19th century plantation, but specifically about the remaining slave cabin on the site. They learned traditional songs that the slaves would sing. They danced, they passed around cotton, they wedged themselves like sardines into the tiny one-room cabin that the slaves lived in, and imagined what it was like for a family or several families to live in this space, smaller than many of their bedrooms are. They touched real slave shackles. This experience engaged all of their senses in learning about history, something a textbook or a classroom could never achieve. They also talked about the ideas and practice of freedom and tolerance, important current social lessons tied to the history of this place. I don't think those kids will ever forget it. I'm a mom to twin 4-year-olds, and my philosophy is to indoctrinate kids while they are really young. So this is a personal case study of my own. As a parent, a grandparent, aunt or uncle or friend to a child who is a toddler or pre-K, there are lots of ways to introduce the importance of saving and preserving old buildings. My favorite activity uses my kids' two passions, trucks and saying no. It also uses a bit of reverse psychology, so it's fun for me too. There's a simple board book. It's called Machines at Work by Byron Barton. You can find it at any library or pretty much any bookstore. It's simple with bright illustrations and has pictures after pictures of wrecking balls taking down old buildings and work trucks building shiny new ones in their place. I was appalled when we checked this out from the library at first, but I found a way to turn it around. We make a game out of this book. I ask, is it good to tear down old buildings? And my kids in chorus shout, no! They love it. It also opened up a world of them asking why and being able to follow that up with great conversation with them about why it's important to save these old buildings and how they are so important and great for our community and environment. This could be a great activity for a preschool class too, followed up with some block building time or coloring simple pictures of line drawing pictures of historic buildings. So these are just two really simple examples from hundreds that are going on all over the state. From hands-on youth activities during Archaeology Month, to programs at historic sites, to local organizations who have designed history curricula for their schools. There are so many case studies of how folks are teaching kids about the importance of historic places and community history. We are collecting these examples on our statewide plan website. You can visit this website at www.preservationconnection.com and click on Goal 5 to learn all about different ideas that people are doing. And if you have an example of how you've engaged youth in place-based learning in your community, make sure to share it by clicking on Tell Your Story, or just leave a comment on the website. Help us build a library of great projects across the state that we can all learn from and be inspired by. Thanks so much.